Well, good evening and thank you for joining me. I'm First Alert meteorologist Jake Lambright. I do apologize in advance there for the caption on Facebook. Not something I can go in and easily change. We're going to talk a lot about that next weather maker coming in on Saturday, what you need to be prepared for, and also we'll take a look at some new data as well that may help you in making some of those weekend plans. Of course, we need the rain. So behind on rainfall for the month, for the year at this point. We were ahead for so long in 2025. Now we need a little bit of rain to catch back up. And you can see here the latest drought monitor across the state showing those deteriorating drought conditions. And most of the deteriorating has happened right here in our own backyard. You'll notice a pretty great expansion there of that tan color. That indicates moderate drought conditions, which are a level 1 out of 4 on the drought risk scale. Most of central Louisiana not in the tan, is at the orange, or the yellow I should say. Those are dry conditions, or kind of pre-drought conditions. Hopefully this rain that we get, it'll be a sizable amount, will help to put a dent on some of those ongoing drought conditions around the region. Do want to give you the first alert. Of course, we got the drought conditions going on. We've got low relative humidity once again Friday afternoon. You take those conditions, add a light breeze out of the southeast with it, and we have the right conditions once again, third day in a row for elevated fire danger. So even if you're not in a parish shaded in red on this map, I would still hold off on any kind of outdoor burning. Of course, those winds aren't going to change a whole lot based on one parish line. So again, if you can hold off on burning, I would definitely recommend doing so. Most of central Louisiana can't do any outdoor burning right now due to the ongoing burn bans right now across most of the area. Any parish there shaded in red is under a burn ban until further notice. All right, let's talk about the details with this weekend's weather maker. Not going to be anything too extreme in the way of severe weather. A strong storm or two certainly possible. We'll kind of talk more about that severe risk here in just a moment. Localized flooding, though, will be the greater concern. Nothing that we haven't seen before, but it could rain out plans. It could make the roads a little tricky to pass through depending on how much rain we see in a specific amount of time. That said, though, I'm certainly going to be watching that flood potential. Now, I'm going to adjust things here for just a moment. We'll take a look here at the timing with Futurecast. This should be some brand new data here right off the press. You'll see as we head into Saturday morning, 7 to 8 a.m., we start to see the first of those showers and storms starting to move into central Louisiana. Then by the afternoon, around lunchtime or so, that's when you'll notice more of that rain entering our central parishes, including Wynne, Grant, Rapides, even back down into Allen and Evangeline. Let me adjust some things here real quick. You'll notice as we head a little bit later on into the day, there's 2 p.m., a little bit of a break, and then you'll see what gets started. It looks like this will go out to about 7 p.m. or so. Round 2 of showers and storms will be heading our way during the late evening and overnight hours. There's a look at that. That's what we'll have to watch to move our direction. You'll also notice a couple of those little isolated storms there while we're waiting on that next line to move on through. So again, expecting that widespread heavy rain, maybe not just one round, but 2 rounds as well. So definitely need that rain. Again, hopefully with round 2 arriving at night, we can minimize those flooding concerns across a good portion of the area. We'll take a look at our severe weather outlook, then dive further into the rainfall totals. The severe risk across most of Louisiana is a marginal risk that kind of starts in our northern central Louisiana parishes, goes all the way down to the coast. You'll notice there's a little bit of yellow there on the map. For us locally, that includes Beauregard and Allen Parish. That yellow indicates a slight risk for severe weather, which is a level 2 out of 5 on the severity scale. Now, with the strongest of the storms, damaging winds will be the main threat. With that said, severe threat should remain pretty minimal. Last week, I know we had some noisy storms across a good portion of the area, but only a small fraction of those really across our northern areas were the only ones that became strong to severe. So very similar. Where not everybody's getting strong storms, not everybody's getting severe weather, but the threat is there. The risk is there for a strong storm or two anywhere across the region. Go ahead and see if I can get this to work with me here. Looks like it locked up there for just a second. We'll go ahead and take a look at that 7-day rainfall forecast, and you'll see central Louisiana, once it finally decides to load, is really one of the hot spots. I'm expecting widespread to rainfall totals anywhere from 2 to 4 inches, locally higher amounts, maybe up to 6 inches of rain will be possible by the time this is all said and done. I hope with some fine-tuning of the forecast that we see rainfall totals drop just a little bit, enough where we get a good amount of rain, but maybe minimize some of those flooding issues. But this 2 to 4 inches of rain really has held steady here over the last couple of days. There's a look at that rainfall forecast zoomed in, and those brighter reds over us again, indicating about 3 to 4 inches of rain across a good portion of central Louisiana. See, get my pointer there. That's what we're saying shaded there across a lot of central Louisiana. Now, the local flood risk as we head into Saturday, like I said, is there. It's a slight risk, level 2 out of 4. So not the highest that we've seen by any means. Still, though, y'all know how it goes. We get an inch or two of rain in a short amount of time, and some roads flood a lot quicker than others, especially Jackson Street. We want to stay away from Jackson Street if we get a lot of heavy rain in a short amount of time. But with that said, rain chances next 7 days. Again, the weekend, it's going to be the highest really Sunday. That rain wraps up earlier in the day, and then the rest of the day should be pretty good. So if that 70% chance of rain, I'm going to keep there for now. I'd say 70% first half of the day, maybe down to about a 30% chance by the afternoon. Low and rain chances continue first half of next week, and then our next front rolls through that drops temperatures, both highs and lows, back down possibly to some of the coolest weather we've seen all season. By that, you'll see here on the temperature trend, the 10-day forecast here in a moment, maybe looking at some upper 60s for high temperatures, which again, we haven't seen temperatures that cool in the afternoon in quite some time. This afternoon was pretty great out there. Upper 70s, low 80s, can't complain there. Really perfect October fall day. You'll see low temperatures tomorrow start off in the low 50s, maybe upper 40s in a spot or two. But because of that humidity increasing as we head into the weekend and next week, you'll notice morning lows will be back into the 60s, at least until that front rolls through middle of next week. So for now, we keep it quiet. We keep it clear there in Alexandria from our England Air Park camera. Temperatures right now already dipping down into the upper 50s in some locations, low 60s for those that haven't quite reached the 50s just yet. Go ahead and skip past that every single day. I forget to put our tonight hour forecast. Let me get that loaded up there for you so you can see how things pan out here for the next little while. Again, some are already in the upper 50s, others low 60s. We gradually cool down into the lower 50s and again possibly upper 40s in a spot or two as you head out the door tomorrow morning. There's a look at your hometown lows. Overall, pretty close to the average for this time of the year. Another crisp and cool fall morning expected. Great morning to have that cup of coffee out there on the patio before you get your day started. Again, we're almost there, almost to Friday, and looking forward to the weekend ahead. Really, the only thing to give you the first alert to in the tropics is Tropical Storm Melissa. Melissa will probably not be a tropical storm for much longer and is actually expected to kind of meander there in the same general location and intensify potentially into a major hurricane. So big impacts expected for Jamaica, some of the Caribbean islands. Not a threat for us, though. I do want to make that clear. Not a threat for the northern Gulf Coast, not a threat for Louisiana, but of course, we will be keeping an eye on it. Before we dive into your first alert 7 and 10 day forecast, want to do any last calls for questions. You can ask those over in our Facebook or YouTube chat, and I will answer those here in just a moment after we walk through the rest of your forecasting with that 7 and 10 day. So let's go ahead and get a look at it here. You'll notice things looking very, very nice high temperature wise as we head into the next week, especially once that front moves through middle of next week. Highs again, mid and upper 60s. Coolest weather we've seen all season. That continues as we head through the rest of the work week. Highs may return to the low 70s by the weekend. So a little bit warmer, but overall still very, very nice. And it's taken a long, long time, but it is finally starting to feel a lot more like fall. I'm glad that we're keeping that around here, at least for the foreseeable future. All right, I'll do another quick check here for any questions in our chats. If I don't see any here, then I'll go ahead and hop off for the night tonight. So I don't see any here, but of course I'm going to be keeping you posted as we go through the next couple of days. Make sure to check our website, kalb.com/weather, and also social media platforms for the latest. Of course, Kaylee will have a live update for you here tomorrow morning. You can always catch the latest weather information on our 24/7 weather live stream as well over on our smart TV apps. You can catch the 10 o'clock newscast there as well. I'll have another weather update for you and also on our website. Otherwise, I hope that y'all have a great night tonight, a great Friday ahead, and I'll see you tonight at 10 coming up on NBC.